Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I am your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you the McFarlin 1966 Batmobile from the Batman series. As you can see, here he is right here. It was Batman series starred Adam West as Batman. Many of you around my age group might remember him as the mayor from Family Guy. He was also the Batman. It was the campy Batman. It was kind of fun and awesome. So, I'd like to talk to you today about this McFarlane figure. Before we really get into this, we're going to discuss the packaging it came in first. The packaging it came in was an open-sided box. They didn't have much on the top to protect it, and it just had two sides and a bottom. But this entire chunk was just open. You could feel it. It was like a freaking Family Dollar or Dollar Tree car toy vehicle. The packaging, though apparently it looked nice according to my friend, it was not really great. And that's something that McFarland's got that I really wish they would fix. Is their packaging is absolutely terrible. That is the worst packaging for a vehicle. The Mattel vehicles, the WWE vehicles that I've shown you on my channel, all have had packaging with 4 walls and a little clear piece so you could see what was inside. And they're even doing away with that these days, and it doesn't matter. Like, you see the pictures on the box, you know what you're getting inside. There's a trust there. This toy isn't actually mine, this Batmobile. It's a gift in the sense of a friend of mine has allowed me to borrow it so that I could showcase it on the show because I wanted to showcase more 1/12 scale vehicles. And this is definitely a 1/12 scale vehicle, questionably a 1/12 scale vehicle. I'd give this thing a 1/11th scale or something similar to that. See how much more about the packaging? Well, other than the fact that the packaging sucked, and many people have, I've seen reports on the internet about these windows on the sides getting crushed by something, and they just find this crushed window, and it's just terrible. It's terrible what they've done, and it's also just, I don't like this. I don't like this thing at all. I like it because it's a Batmobile, but at the same time, I don't like it because there's so much that was just cut. They cut so many corners with this thing, and that's what we're going to talk about. But we're gonna discuss the good, and then we're going to discuss the bad. We've already discussed the ugly, and that was the package, which meant that chances are, if you find this thing in the wild, it will be broken, or some vandals have vandalized it because they could have access to the toy. That's why you leave it in a complete box. So, the good about this thing, it has really great sculpture work on it. You can feel all the cool little doohickeys and thingamajigs that they glued to the original 1966 car to make it look fanciful. You got this crazy little thing with little bitty bat wings in the middle here. You've got the engine here on the back, and little fact about the show, they actually just kind of bolted this thing onto the back of the vehicle, and then they had these huge bolts and stuff on either side, all the gear holding it together. So they folded it over with some plastic tarps, and bolted the plastic tarps down or taped them down for the show. And they've actually done that sculptor work on these little boxes on either side of the engine. You can actually feel folds of a tarp, and that was an attention to detail I really do appreciate. And you can feel all the little, the rough texturing back here around the engine area. The texture-wise on this thing is pretty amazing. It's really nice. There's nice sharp lines. There's edges. It feels really nice. In the front, you've got individualized texturing for each of the headlights. They are textured like the old headlights used to be textured on older cars. And they have this texture on the front for the radiator. That is a completely different texture than the rest of the car. And then you got these air intakes right above. Those are nice. Inside there is a bit of a radiator texture, like a screen to stop leaves and stuff from being pulled directly into the engine. That's pretty cool. The underside isn't really much to be discussed. It's not really that important. And now we get to, you know, also this engine on the back is textured, and it's got a port in there. So if you have something, let's see, do I have one sitting here? Ah, here we go. If you have something like a blast effect from your Transformers, it will kind of fit in there, and look like a little engine. That's pretty cool. Now we're gonna get into what I don't like about it. Well, wait. One more thing to like about it. One more thing to love about it. One more thing that I wish more vehicles did these days, including the Transformers vehicles. This thing has rubber wheels. What? Why does the McFarlane have rubber wheels when Hasbro doesn't have rubber wheels? Hell, every Lego set just about has rubber wheels, but Hasbro can't do it. So many people can't do it. Mattel can't do it, but here McFarlane is doing it, and it's not difficult to do. Rubber's made from the rubber tree too, so it isn't like you're killing the planet with it or anything. It's better. I like rubber. Everyone likes rubber. It makes a nice noise when it rolls around because it doesn't make a noise when it rolls around. It makes the rubber on something noise, which is softer, and it's less grating on the ears, especially whenever you're rolling across a rough texture like I'm doing right now. So that's the good things. I wanted to mention all these amazing things about it because this is good. This is good. But now we're going to get to why it's terrible. Like, everything about this thing is great, except that McFarlane has something against the 1/12 scale. McFarlane doesn't like 1/12 scale because McFarlane has some sort of stick up his butt about 1/12 scale stuff. Nope, nothing can be 1/12 scale. Not even something that's advertised to be 1/12 scale is actually 1/12 scale. This is 1/11 scale, or maybe even 1/10 scale. You can see, look at the head that sticks above of Mystique here. Her head sticks above the window. That's not supposed to happen. The head is supposed to be below the window. Look at my friend Stan Lee figure here. His head is above the window. At least he has some glasses on to protect his eyes from the wind shear. Poor Mystique here is going to have to probably create some sort of face form that has glasses on it, to protect herself from the wind shear. It's wild. Like, I expect Batman and Robin to go around protecting Gotham City whenever they keep getting their face plastered with all the mosquitoes that live in Gotham City. It's asinine. It's straight up asinine. McFarlane has got something against 1/12 scale stuff, and frankly, I'm tired of it. I would like to get some DC stuff, but it's all 7-inch scale. And then whenever you get into the 7-inch scale of it, you get things like Batman and Batgirl being the exact same height. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that they were the exact same height. I thought, like, if I remember, back before I lost my vision, they weren't the same height. Batman and Robin are the same height? Like, what is this? What the hell, McFarlane? You just don't care anymore? Do you just not care about these people wanting to set up nice dioramas? You're just like, I'm just going to make them this thing, and then I'm going to make it, and they're going to buy it because they don't care. They're just gluttonous little consumers. No, we do care, and we dislike this, McFarlane. We dislike this a lot. A lot of people were hoping that this would be an amazing Batmobile, and it is with everything, except when it comes to the one thing that people want to do with this Batmobile, McFarlane, and the one thing people want to do with this Batmobile is actually put their 6-inch scale stuff into it. If they can't put their 6-inch scale things into it, and if the figures that you made for it don't even fit it right, then you're doing something wrong and you need to stop. Let's take a look at some size comparisons with the Mattel product that, even though it's kind of ratty looking and it doesn't have all the nice finished details as McFarlane, it does have 6-inch scale compatibility, 1/12 scale compatibility, and it goes above and beyond because this thing actually has a wheel well. Now, I'm setting them here side to side so you can see the differences. Like, the Batmobile is indeed longer than the WWE Slam Mobile from Mattel, but the WWE Slam Mobile from Mattel can hold my 6-inch scale G.I. Joes without their heads going entirely over the window. Like, this amount of head at the window area is appropriate because you imagine this thing being the folded up roof of the car, would fold over and create just enough of a couple of inches there so that this guy could sit properly. And that is okay. That is reasonable. This is a reasonable gap in space. It's not much, it's very minimal. Even with Flint here, it actually doesn't even really go over his head. His hat is at risk of flying off, but not as much as Beachhead over here. And these are, examples of a 6-inch scale vehicle that has a great well for the feet. The feet area actually go all the way in to about here, right behind the wheel. The feet area for the Batmobile, well, let's take a look. You can see it on the back, on the underside. The feet area go all the way to here. And that's not bad. But when you consider that the actual place where the driver sits, where the passenger sits, is a little further up than where the passenger would sit in this WWE Slam Mobile, you can see there's some problems. And for some reason, the footwell in here, where you can lay your action figure's feet, isn't as deep. It's a great product, but it's obviously got some flaws, and I think it's because of McFarland's prejudices against 1/12 scale stuff. I don't know what he's got against it, and I wish McFarland would stop so I could enjoy some really nice things. Like, this is a nice Batmobile. This is a really great product. Compared to the WWE Slam Mobile, it is loads better. It's on a different plateau entirely. But it doesn't matter because it's not even doing the thing it's supposed to do. So, this thing showed up to the competition to compete, and it's an amazing thing to compete with, but sadly, it broke the rules, and it doesn't belong. It doesn't belong in your 1/12 collection because it doesn't fit your 1/12 scale collection. And that's a shame. And that is a terrible shame. And I hate that. I really do. Because I wanted this Batmobile to be the best it possibly could. And it got close. But then it dropped the ball at the part of the game it most mattered. It's like, you got close. You showed up to the football game with a well-trained team. Everybody got good. Everybody's amazing. And then you showed up to a soccer field wanting to play American football, and nobody even brought any footballs. So, close, but just missed it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the McFarlane 1966 Batmobile from the original series starring Adam West. It's a great show. I love the onomatopoeias in it. And I do wish that we had a better representation of it in the 1/12 scale line. It is sad to see, all this amazing sculpture work, and I assume good paint work, but all of it, it doesn't even matter because it's not even in the 1/12 scale. It just dropped the ball. It dropped the ball. And, I've been Blind Prime, and you've been watching More Than Meets the Eye. And don't forget to please like, subscribe, and share with others. I try to express my opinions on these things as I feel them. So, sometimes I have great feelings about something and love it, and sometimes I'm just upset. But until next Prime.